How to discover Budapest during the heat wave. The past couple of years, the summers have been getting extremely hot here in Budapest. Sometimes it can be between 35 to up to 42 degrees Celsius, which is not particularly normal for us in Budapest, but because of climate change, it's really hot. What can you do on the days when you want to explore Budapest, but it's extremely hot? I would recommend two things. One, I would recommend that you stay on the Pest side where the buildings are much higher. There's 4-story buildings, so there's much more shade. So walking around in the city, easier to walk in the shade than in the direct sunlight. A lot of nice little parks in the inner city as well where you can take a little break. Always have water with you as well. The Pest side, I think it's easier to explore because there's 4-story buildings, there's more shade. So even if it's extremely hot, you can still walk in the shade, and I would say it's bearable. It's not ideal, but it's still bearable. However, the Buda Castle District on the Buda side is a very tricky and different story. In the Buda Castle District, most of the buildings are 2 stories. It doesn't give you a lot of shade during the day. That means that if you go to the Buda Castle District at around 11, you're going to be almost in direct sunlight without being able to escape there's not a lot of shade. Of course, there's a promenade, the Tóth promenade, which has trees where you can walk on, but you would miss out on a big chunk of the Buda Castle District if you just walk in that area. But I will say this, that it's a great spot to go into the shade and relax a little bit before you start walking again to explore that area. What would I recommend that you do if you want to discover the Buda Castle District and you want to avoid the heat wave? I would recommend getting up as early as you possibly can. Say you get up at 8, by 9 you're in the Buda Castle District. Take an umbrella with you. That is necessary if there's direct sunlight and there's not enough shade. An umbrella, water bottle, and put on as much sunscreen as you possibly can because the UV rays are extremely high between 11 until like 3 or 4 p.m. in the afternoon. That's what I would recommend that you do if you really want to explore the Buda Castle District. Also, in general, the earlier you go to the Buda Castle District, the better, because there's less crowds during the summers. There's a lot of cruise ships that are coming in, and there's a lot of big groups walking in and out of the Fisherman's Bastion area and the Buda Castle District area, so it can get really crowded really quickly. Just if you want to avoid that, which I like to avoid crowds, go as early as you possibly can.